you ever killed a person?
I'll tell you later.
What?
The answer is no.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever...
Have
you ever taken... Did you take drama in high school ever?
I
you
did.
do drama?
I felt I was adequate at improv.
Okay. So you know where this is going. You know, like the number one rule to improv is
you never say
when
no.
someone sets you up with a prompt, it's yes and.
Yes.
You take it and you go with it,
right,
instead of just being like, wow, I don't want to talk about that.
Well, I mean, the difference is
no.
It's like if it's a jailable offense, or if someone's going to pin a murder on me, that changes the outcome for sure.
That's fair. I don't know that. I don't know how many like governmental authorities are listening to our show, but that's good. Yeah, cover your. Yeah, you don't want to go down for murder. That's. But so, if you were to kill a guy, or a lady, headshot, leg shot, aim for the lungs, hit him in the groin. Like what would be your approach?
I feel like there'd be a few things that I would try first before unloading an entire clip into a bulletproof vest.
Well, but you don't necessarily know that this person's like...
Oh, you just know they will be wearing one. If cliche movies are any indication.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, because how could you know that magical bulletproof vests where you can literally shoot the person in the chest with a bazooka and then go, okay, good, they're dead. And then 4 seconds later, they're lunging at you only to remember, it's got to be a headshot. The only way to kill a killer is a headshot. Yeah. Specifically a killer. I think we're not just talking about like, gunning down innocents in Grand Theft Auto. We are talking about killing a killer. Yeah,
in a horror movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And either they're lunging for you, or the camera pans to where they were and they've mysteriously backflipped out of there. No worse for the wear after the trauma of taking bullets to a bulletproof vest.
If I ever write a memoir or like an autobiography about killing a killer is just it, and it will have not. You'll read the whole thing and you'll be like,
wait, where's the title?
What's with that title?
Yeah. And it's about like binary code or something.
Yeah, killing a killer. All right. Well, hello and welcome.
Welcome to the Movie Men podcast. I am Peter, and the author with great absolute clickbait titles is Brady.
It'd be so sick, man. I don't know if people would be like feeling ripped off, or just like
confused,
or if it would like add to this, be like, oh, that was so good, that was so clever, in a book that was otherwise not at all funny. That's a hilarious title. It's
or then there'd be the conspiracy theorists who would national treasure it and be like, okay, they'd take like the first letter from each paragraph and like pin together some clues, and they're like, here's how you do it.
Yeah.
It's George Washington.
That'd be amazing. If I wrote a memoir and it inspired that level of like
following.
If there were conspiracy theories about your memoir,
right?
You'd be like, I don't know how or why, but oh my gosh! Like until it turned into like, if people are like doing heists.
Yeah, that's
on account of your memoir.
Yeah, that's where it goes too far.
And you get in trouble for you're like, I wrote about the time my cat ran away. I don't
know where people took this.
I don't understand why people are stealing cats now. Yeah. So listen, Scream
3,
the Accidental series. For us.
Yeah. Where if you had asked us a few months ago, this would have been even on our radar.
Yeah. Are you, people would be like, are you working through Scream? It'd be like, no. Like, no. We did the first one.
Yeah.
And like the second one won a vote. So I like, you know,
and
it's something that I never would have even, because I first watched all the Scream movies like a year ago.
Sure.
And would have I said to you, I recommend you check it out. Check out the first one.
Give it a look.
Because it's shockingly entertaining. It's like, it's so bad it's good, but it's not even like bad. It's like actually pretty good.
Yeah. Tropey, but good.
Tropey. But I would never have thought to present it to you as something we should work through.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and like you said,
but here we are, accidentally. We just kind of like, there was a moment I feel like where we both looked at each other because we did the first two because of votes.
Yeah, and I enjoyed the first one far more than I expected.
Yeah, and then looking at the release schedule of movies, we saw, the sixth one is coming.
Yeah, and I was like, why not?
And we just kind of like, there was a moment where we just looked at each other and we're like, I guess we're doing the Scream films.
And listen, we understand that there's a hierarchy. Like on the calendar this year, I feel like Mission Impossible, the other thing we're working towards is like, at least for me, like that's the baby. That's that's my priority. But I still care about this. Like this is obviously something that, I don't know, just coincidentally aligned, and now we're working towards it and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. So, without further ado, Scream 3. Now, do you have trivia? Do you just want to do initial impressions? Let's get right into it.
Let's get right into it.
Okay. Initial impressions. I think of the three we've watched so far, this isn't the best one.
Okay.
It's not the best one.
Okay.
I'd go so far as to say maybe it's the second best one. Like it's either the worst one or it's the second best one.
Yep.
In the possibility that it could be better than the second.
Sure.
At least from like a twist standpoint. By the way, I mean, Scream 3 has been out for 23 years now, so if you have not watched it,
get over it.
We're going to spoil this thing. But it is a film.
23 years, yikes.
Yeah. But it is a film that if you have not, like, if you're like, I got to get around to watching the Scream movies, they benefit, your first watch benefits from having not been spoiled. That is just whatever. Yeah. You've been warned. I think it's got a still a little ridiculous, but relatively serviceable twist that kind of does a good job of tying everything to get like making sense of it, justifying it, explaining why this is happening again.
Yep.
So there's that. There's some cheesy moments. There's some kind of freaky moments. And all things said and done, I don't know if the person who styled Courtney Cox's hair was fired.
Right. Okay.
But they probably should have been unloaded into the Bulletproof Vest.
So because bad.
It's distractingly bad. It's not just bad. It is like every time she is on screen, I'm sitting there going, but why?
And it's not, there are hairstyles that are bad as they age. This was not like, I feel like if I saw this in 2000 and if I was an adult at the time, I also would have just maybe done a second look. Like I don't like it, and I don't know if it was ever a good look.
And I need to go in and do some digging and some research and kind of figure out like how it works out with seasons and stuff like that.
Friends,
but this is like smack dab in the middle. This is directly in the middle of the run of Friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, what the? So clearly, I mean, obviously they're not shooting these simultaneously. Like she's taken, it's like they're shooting it over. She's shooting her scenes over the summer when they're off from shooting the show. But it is atrocious.
I'm glad you brought that up because I literally had a note that just said Courtney Cox's hair with a skull emoji because I was just like, what is... No way, man. I don't know.
Like, oh. What are your thoughts aside from Courtney's hair?
I found that hilarious that we both came to that conclusion. It's funny. We're working on our schedule and just with some different things that we're working towards in life and whatnot. Our schedule's pretty hammy. Like, it's pretty full. We're kind of massaging it here and there to work it through. And an easy thing would be to drop this series. But it is a really weird, quirky, fun series. Like, it's not a pleasant series. It's about a serial killer and like trauma that survivors are going through as they get whittled down, as there's not many people from the original movie because they kind of one by one they're whittled away, but it's a fun thing to throw in. You get some quirkiness from it being 20 plus years old, but just the tropes, and there's some fun things that from like a movie making kind of perspective are like kudos to that. But just as a mystery, like it's just like fun to kind of speculate and kind of guess and kind of just pay attention to details and be wrong about things but maybe right about some things. And it is, when the movie's done, you're not going, okay, this isn't a 9.9 Oscar bait movie, but it's still entertaining and it's still captivating in its own unique way. So this movie wasn't any different. I would say it's probably my second favorite easily. I liked this better than number 2.
Yeah, I won't fight you on that.
And I do get what you're saying. Like, when you're continuing a series like this, by the time you get to the plot reveal at the end, some things get a little watered down, a little bit out there of like, wow, okay, this is pretty, contrived and, pretty unlikely, but here we are. You have to write something to get to this point. But it still had its fun moments. It still had the stab parallel. Took a bit of a backseat. It wasn't as front and center as it was in number 2. I feel like this movie had the most terrifying sequence in maybe the whole trilogy, with that whole dream sequence. Like, that was the first time I was like, wow, this is borderline creepy. Like, the other times it's just tropey slasher, but that was like kind of a dream creepiness. And I guess it's fun to have adding a new plot twist every time, where you've got a voice modulator where just then everything's off the table. Like, every time someone's talking on the phone, you can't trust if it's them or not. And I feel like, it really lends itself to you just adding and being invested into what's happening, because you can never trust what's happening until you actually physically see someone in person. You don't trust anything that happens.
It's weirdly like it's a horror franchise, but it's also like a murder mystery horror franchise.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Where you're left guessing, and you get to come along for the ride and form theories while you're watching it, and start trusting and start distrusting and all of these things. But so okay, so let's dive in. And I'm going to get you to kind of sort of take a bit of a lead here.
Sure.
Only because I've seen them all.
Right. You don't want to lead.
Well, I'm not necessarily worried about like, just spoiled the 5th one. No, but can't believe Neil Patrick Harris shows up. That's amazing. But I don't know. This is just kind of like, in some ways this feels like your journey. This feels like your adventure through the Scream movies. So hit me with what you've got, and I'll kind of jump in where I feel appropriate.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say, I think for some reason I liked Dewey and Courtney Cox's relationship development in this movie a bit more, and it's not even that measurably different because it's so strained in number 2. So we'll start with number 1. Number 1, it's strained, and then they really warm up to each other. Number 2, you just kind of reinvent the wheel because they just are strained again, and then it kind of works. They kind of meet in the middle. And then this one, we start at the beginning again where they're just so strained. But something about it, they kind of just got over that hurdle for me pretty quickly, where then it was that they were able to kind of continue on their relationship with each other to where eventually the film ended up. And just something about that and about the way they were on screen worked for me a bit more than it did in number 2. Number 2, I just found it distractingly, just at each other. This time it was more, yes, they've got their animosity. Yes, they've got their problems. And then pretty quickly they move on, or at least for me. And so that's something that I think worked for me, that kind of warmed me up. It was a bit more of a touch of the original in this one. So that was good.
I think what's so fun about this relationship is that it doesn't make any sense. like the socially demented cop who you don't ever quite, you never reach a point where you're able to confidently say Dewey's all there. He wasn't dropped off the counter as a baby and landed on his head. Something about Dewey. He lacks all the confidence of an actual functioning adult.
I don't know if he's that bad.
Really?
I think maybe
he's like a meme to me.
For sure. I think I just maybe misinterpret it as, or have a different interpretation, is that he's just maybe more authentic and sincere, and maybe to a fault, where maybe he's too trusting, maybe he's too open, and then that can allow him to get burnt. Like that, if I was doing a character or a personality analysis, maybe that's what I'd label it as.
But he's also kind of dumb.
I mean, it's one way to say it. I mean, maybe he's just a little naive.
He's a little slow. He's pretty thick. Right. I mean, but it's so bizarre just because Gale is, I don't know. I was about to say Gale's like this successful power career. Like, I was going to say super attractive, but then I remembered the hair.
Potential to be attractive.
But I mean, I don't know. I just like this whole new layer for me was just kind of unraveled, where I was like, well, but is she like, okay, so taking what you just said about Dewey, that Dewey is just genuine. He's authentic. Yep. He's not putting on any sort of guise. He's not trying to project anything other than the real Dewey. And maybe Gale is the total opposite, in the sense that Gale is, I mean, she's had some success, but success doesn't necessarily mean like, you know, she's a normal human being who's frail and broken and messed up and whatever else, who's hiding behind this, or has hidden behind this, like this persona of Gale Weathers, right? And like, I don't know. So maybe there's something there. Maybe it does make more sense than, you know, Dewey's the one guy that Gale feels like she can actually be the real Gale around.
For sure.
That there's no pressure to be, you know, because he's not a guy you're picking up at a Hollywood party. Like he's not.
No, yeah, he's down to earth.
Yeah, he's the guy ain't got like a 6-pack and a perfect hairline. He's
got a sweet stash though.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
there's something really.
And I think that's what works with their relationship, right? Because they are opposites in a way, but like you're alluding to, like Gail's career and her persona that she puts on, she's able to kind of be more genuine back towards Dewey in her moments of vulnerability, because she's someone he's trustworthy. He's because of his sincerity, he's not going to backstab you. No pun intended.
There's also something really fun, I think, about watching this on-screen relationship unfold when you know that there's the off-screen relationship there.
In real life?
In real life.
Like the actors are in a relationship?
You don't...
What?
Are you joking?
I'm dead serious. I am dead serious.
Gosh.
Wow. The movie news segment hits early this week.
This is what? Okay.
Wow. I'm opening up the Googler. So, wow.
There's I can't remember. Is it season 3 of Friends where Courtney Cox stops getting billed as Courtney Cox and is billed as Courtney Cox Arquette?
Oh, are they? Oh no, they're separated now. Okay.
They're divorced now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Courtney Cox
definitely divorced
was
now.
married to Michael Keaton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
For a stint.
Yep, for a stint. Yeah.
Well, they weren't married.
They were in a relationship.
Yeah, but no, she was married to David Arquette for 14 years.
Interesting. Okay.
So at this point, like when this movie comes out, they're married in real life.
So
they got married in 99.
And I don't want you to comment on this, but I'm just curious when I go to see the newer ones, but particularly the new one in March. I'm just curious if they're both still in this, and then just the
even Scream 5, right? Because Scream 5 came out
only
a
year ago,
post divorce.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So
wow,
interesting to see. Because you'd have to think like, and we won't get too much into this because this will be something obviously we get into when the time comes. But if they are both in it, see, it's just something weird about like, working with your ex-spouse and like, and what will that mean for the story, if anything? Like, are you, because there's one thing where you're working with your ex-spouse. It's a whole nother thing if you're working with your ex-spouse and you're showing up on set and playing a couple and kissing on screen and, and it's work. You're an actor, and kissing is kissing for the sake of acting, and so on and so forth. But
it's
there's like an underlying thing there, right?
Yeah, you're still a human being with like who feels awkward or feels tension, and
yeah. I can't believe you didn't know that. Holy cow!
Yeah,
I couldn't have dropped a bigger bomb if I'd sat and thought about it and planned it out. And
that's amazing. So yeah, this movie gets into the cliches. I guess we'll get into the one I already mentioned, just about the reveal at the end, and it was somewhat interesting. By the time you're getting into like the second and third version of, doing something that's kind of outlandish, but also is connected to the original plot, you are making it a stretch. It is a little bit incredible. But it did hold up for me a bit more than number 2. Something about the number 2 reveal just didn't work for me. And this one was number 2 was just like angry mom. Yeah. And like, obviously that logically makes sense, but it was just so out of left field for me that I'm like, please, no.
Doesn't make sense though. Like, okay, here's the thing. The reveal in the first one, he's young.
Yeah.
Which is like he's a teenager essentially, which is reckless.
Yeah,
he's not like he's acting strictly emotionally. He's clearly kind of unstable, not as unstable as Stu is, because Stu, you're just like, what is your skin in the game, man? Like, why are you stabbing people to death? What is happening? Right. Gosh, calm down there, Shaggy. But in the second one, and you kind of look at like, what is the motivation here? Like, what happened to Billy Loomis and why? And you can kind of like, it's still an extreme reaction. Obviously, you're not like, oh wow, he was completely justified to murder everyone. But you can kind of see how maybe he got there.
Yeah.
The second one is just like, the mother is like, okay, so Billy also had bad genes. Like, what?
Essentially.
He was also predisposed because his mother takes a lot of drugs and probably took a lot of drugs during the pregnancy. Right. It just felt like, it felt sequely, I guess, which is appropriate because it was, but it didn't have that kind of like, you're a mom who's upset because your son's dead. But have you not heard the story? Like, are you not aware of what your kid did?
Right.
And that he was killed in self-defense because he was slaughtering other people. Like,
well, and maybe like if you've killed that many people, maybe he had it coming.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always iffy on that. I don't, I could sit and talk to you all day about my thoughts on capital punishment and eye for an eye and stuff like that. But
that's, and I also agree because it's complicated, but that's different. Like, that's not like a group of people deciding, you know what, let's kill him. It's like, you know what, it happened as a result of him killing people or attempting to kill people. And as a result, he died. So it's like, you kind of lived by the bed he made, right?
Yeah. But yeah, the second one was just like, my son's not here anymore. All of you must die. Like, right. And not just all of you must die, but all of you must die in this, like, I'm going to play mind games.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. This time around, though, you're right. The twist, still tropey.
Very.
Still incredible. An incredible turn of events. Like, and if you thought this was an incredible turn of events, buckle up because there's more to come.
Okay.
But yeah, it you can at least go, okay, we're dealing with another young person, more or less.
Yeah.
Who's been affected by this, not just as a recent, oh, my son is dead.
Yeah.
But has been affected by, like, this has played into this individual's development.
Yeah.
And formative years, and has really screwed with the psyche of this person.
True.
This person being, we just come out and say it, this person being Sydney's step sibling.
Yeah.
Right. The product of some freaky business. But so yeah. So it is a more viable twist. And I think that's like, also, we talked about this one being more enjoyable than the second one. So much of that, I feel like in these films, so much of the score that this film is going to get hinges on that twist.
Sure.
Right? You can have like a amazing film and then a twist that is super stupid and nobody buys. And it's going to do irreparable damage to that score. And in some ways, the opposite is true. You can have like, this was whatever. But oh my God, that twist made it all worth it. That twist made it all make sense. That twist is all I'm thinking about and talking about. And it makes total sense. And I can't believe I didn't see it coming and all that. And it will like redeem the film. So yeah, it's a good twist this time.
And I would say also equal, like, so, okay, these movies, a staple is the twist at the end. that influences obviously a score to a big point. Something else that obviously influences the score and is a staple of these films is the intro. And I couldn't even tell you what happened at the beginning of number 2, but I definitely remember number 1 being monumental. And this one
Drew
was
Barrymore.
Oh, yeah. And this one was
the girl from the cover who's in all of 3 minutes.
Yeah, right. And this one was incredible with Cotton. And again, you get into that not believing what you hear because of this plot element that's been brought in and that sets the tone for the rest of the movie. And you get that instantaneous, like, oh my gosh, I understand this girlfriend's skepticism, but then you see that the assailant is still there and you go, oh my gosh, I wish they could just be on the same page to not get killed together. But
yeah,
an incredible intro for me. It worked.
Interesting decision. You talk about Cotton. I think having Cotton back in as big a role, like obviously Cotton's in the second one and is there during the finale and stuff like that. Yeah. But just that Cotton like still makes an appearance in this one, I think is so interesting because his arc in the first film, I don't know, you would look at that on paper and go, okay, like he's a one and done. He's sort of a distraction in the first one. He's sort of not a MacGuffin, but he's like a red herring.
Yeah, that's a
red herring. And we're like,
right.
Yeah, and we're like, oh, okay. It wasn't him. It wasn't the guy we thought it was. And just sort of an extra layer of interesting plot there. But the fact that, he had become a reoccurring character and made it into the third one just is bizarre to me.
And I feel like you're right. That is bizarre. And I feel like I was surprised by it because I thought, okay, if he's made it this far in the series, he's probably going to be like some of the other main characters where then he's, maybe his how we view him changes, whether positively or negatively. But I thought, okay, if he's here for the long term. And then obviously, because he's in the intro, I guess that should have been a red flag. But pretty quickly we realized his tenure is done.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't shot in the head.
That's true. Can't rule it out.
Was not shot in the head.
We get some more great, meta moments with Randy's fourth wall. With his video saying,
the principle of trilogies.
The principle of trilogies, and it was heavy-handed, but not obviously in a very fun, well-done way, and it just needs to be that the villain needs to be blown up. He warns us, don't just, they won't die in a typical way. It's going to take something extraordinary. And it was just a fun continuation of just these films being so self-aware. And I thought that was a fun touch.
Is it talking about, Randy's in this. Through like archival footage type thing.
In a very contrived way, he's still in this.
Yep. But let's also talk about it's something that these films have done in the past, have been surprise you with the cast that shows up.
Right?
Like you're watching the first one and you're like, oh, holy crap. And then you're watching the second one and you're like, oh, what? I didn't know this person was in this.
Yeah.
So obviously you've got, the first time around, you're not shocked that Nev Campbell, because, what name does Nev Campbell have at that point? But obviously Nev Campbell's back. That's no shocker. David Arquette is back. No shocker. Liv Schreiber, we've talked about as Cotton Weary, is back.
Yeah.
And then Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers.
Of course.
Patrick Dempsey.
Right?
And
I loved this part. I did.
Patrick Dempsey's in this.
Yeah. Heck. And that this would be defined as pre-made it Patrick Dempsey, wouldn't it not?
Pre-dreamy?
He's for sure pre-McDreamy, but I don't know what was he was in before Grey's Anatomy.
I don't know, probably like the odd. I don't know, because I think about Patrick Dempsey and I'm like, oh, if he's going to show up in something other than Grey's Anatomy, he's in like a rom-com.
Yeah.
Right. He's a guy from, he's the less douchey guy from Enchanted. Only because the other guy is James Marsden. Yeah, if I'm looking at it, I mean, Meatballs 3, which is like, it's like the third installment in like a sex comedy, Loverboy, nothing monumental, at least in my viewing
I feel like
experience.
This might be the start, because he's got Scream 3, then Sweet Home Alabama, then he's in some bigger things, Maid of Honor, and then he's starting to get into the the Grey's Anatomy and all that. Like
he does have like 20 credits prior to this. Right, like his film debut is 1985.
Yep.
So he's been in the game for 14 years. But yeah, after this, Will and Grace, Blonde, your Sweet Home Alabama, obviously Grey's Anatomy, Enchanted, Valentine's Day, Transformers. Yeah.
But I loved his presence in this. I thought it was a great role. And I loved the dynamic of just us having him typecast as the killer. And then just the way they wrote it, that we all have this trust and angst when he's holding a gun against our main character. And then after he gets like hit with a fire poker in the head, we're like, no, he's legit. Like, we should not feel hostility towards him. And so that was both just a fun thing from a narrative perspective, but just also just as a fun thing as enjoying Patrick Dempsey's character. It was redeeming for us. Right.
Then we have Jenny McCarthy.
Right.
Plays Sydney. Why do I keep saying Cindy? Cindy is when they spoof Scream and Scary Movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Sydney. Okay, I'm just committing it to memory. Plays Sydney's counterpart in the Stab films, Kate.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, it's on par with any other Jenny McCarthy performance. I mean, she's not an actress, right? I mean, she acts a lot, but I don't think actor is essentially, like, her title is comedian and playmate, right? Like that is her career at this point. So I think she's in this more for shits and giggles than she is really anything else. Patrick Warburton.
Yeah. For not very long, but he was there.
I want every book that I own on my shelf. I want an audiobook version.
Oh, absolutely.
Read by Patrick Warburton.
Absolutely.
Like, oh my gosh. He's perfection. He's like, what a voice. Carrie Fisher.
My gosh. Right?
It just, when you think that the film's done throwing names at you.
Yeah.
She's not even there from the get. It's not and Carrie Fisher's in this. It's just all of a sudden it's like, hang on, Carrie Fisher?
Yeah.
And then the one other two in one, that stood out to me that you might not have jumped out to you.
Sure.
Is Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes playing?
I did see the Kevin Smith.
Yeah, Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh.
They're playing their characters Jay and Silent Bob from Clerks and obviously the Jay and Silent Bob films, and sort of Kevin Smith's pantheon of like his cinematic universe.
Sure.
In his films. So I thought that was, when that happened, I was like, okay, we're not holding back here. Nothing is out of the, if Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones show up with neuralizers in the next scene, I'll be like, oh yeah,
we're here for it.
Makes sense to me. Need to wipe some memories.
And not as name worthy, but it did stand out to me. Emily Mortimer was in here, and I recognize her from a few things, specifically Shutter Island, where I believe she plays one of the patients at the mental hospital. And so
she was in the less than amazing revival of Mary Poppins. Hugo, definitely Shutter Island. I'm trying to remember, but was there anything? Again, what big credit? What notable credit does she have prior to this? Oh, maybe nothing.
Probably nothing. But because of Shutter Island, I've kind of typecast her as a bit of a psychopath. So I honestly thought it was her. I'm like, she's absolutely the killer, especially when she walks out of the bushes and all the other characters like, where did you come from? Like, why are you over there?
Which is consistent with her playing the adult version of Jane Banks in Mary Poppins Returns. Because if you had that kind of upbringing,
you're a serial killer.
Well, I just mean if you had a magical nanny when you were a kid, you're growing up with some sort of psychosis because
reality is different for you.
Was it real? Yeah. Was it not real?
You would always just be wondering.
Like you've got Christopher Robin syndrome. You're like, which is not actually a thing, but I've just coined that where you're like, was I friends with all of these animals? And was there a threat of heffalumps and woozles? Or
because they all represent like one type of mental health issue, like depression and anxiety and all these things? Were they just something that I perceived and gave animal representations?
Yeah. Is this the reason why you don't find children's cough syrup on the shelves anymore? Like what's...
the last name that I've got was similar to the way they did things in number 2. David Schwimmer being mentioned not wanting to come back for the next slasher movie.
Right. Which is just movie. Fun friends.
Just a fun reference.
Yep. Brother and sister.
So that's about all I have. Is there anything else that we should hit on before we give it a score?
No, I don't. Not necessarily. Sure. I mean, it's interesting that like none of these films so far have asked for a sequel. Right. It doesn't end, and you're like, well. Let's see where it's going to go. The one thing that's a good thing,
and that's I think maybe why it's so fun to watch.
Yes, because you're like, you sit down to start the next one, and the question in your head is like, okay, and not in a negative way, but the question is, okay, why?
Yes.
Why are we doing this again?
Yep.
Why is this happening again? And not in like but why? No, like an
inquisitive, curious why.
The one really bizarre moment to me that I kind of want to two towards the end of the film that are tropey, but are so tropey that they kind of pulled me out. One is right after Brother Dearest has been shot, not so fatally, and Sydney, even though this is a horrible human being who has tried to kill you and has killed many of your friends and is like, this is no different than the Billy Loomis situation. But I literally just found out that you're kind of sort of my brother, so I'm going to get down and hold your hand and feel something while you die.
Right?
Because I'm like, what?
Yeah. I did think that was a little odd.
That's one of those like, okay, listen, Sydney, have you not heard the blood doesn't make you family?
Yeah.
Kind of like, this is not your brother. Like maybe biologically this is half your brother.
Yeah.
But this is not your brother.
This is not your brother.
Let this sucker die.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing is like right at the end where we're trying to put a button on the film. We're trying to show that Sydney is no longer afraid. She doesn't need to be scared anymore. And it's like movie night, and we're going to hang out, and the door blows open.
Pause it. I like when Patrick Dempsey showed up to this movie night, I'm like, where's my invite? I want to hang out at this movie night. Like, this is a sweet movie night.
Yeah, I'm not. Listen, I'm about to make friends and enemies here.
Sure.
I have not watched Grey's Anatomy.
I'm not a religious watcher either, but that's fair.
And so, well, you work in the medical field, so there's
some truth.
You know, it's like me watching. I was going to say if they made a show tomorrow and it was all about DJs, and I'd be like, no, that'd be a really shitty show. I probably wouldn't watch that. But no, yeah. So regardless, the door blows open. And in order to show you, and in a way that up until this point would be like what is going on? Is someone there? Yep. Like time to, because also like Cindy is becoming Sydney. Mike, I will figure this out at some point. Sydney is kind of becoming like a Sarah Connor in the sense that she's like, all of these experiences are like hardening her.
Yeah.
She's becoming more like gun savvy and more able to like, she's not like the fun, sweet, innocent Sydney that she was.
No.
It's like turning her into this like survivor. Hardened. Okay, this is what we have to do. Yep. It's turning her into the person that you want to show up and be on your side because she knows how to kick some butt.
Yeah.
But so the door blows open and she kind of looks at it and she's like retrieving popcorn or something and sees that it's blown open and realizes that she's no longer afraid and leaves it blown open so that she can go, you know, and I get the message. I understand what you're saying to me.
Yeah.
But shut your flipping door. Like, right. What
do mice not live in your neighborhood? Like,
yeah. So, or mosquitoes. Or actual just like non-ghost face bad people. Right. Someone's going to walk by and see your doors open and come like, on. Like,
I'm going to steal your radio.
Yeah. I don't know. You're like, oh, it's a movie night and my guests will need to leave at some point. So I will create one less step for them. Just leave the door open. I don't know. It was kind of like, it was just the ultimate like stupid thing. Yeah. You know, it was like riding off into the sunset on horses at the end of a cowboy movie. It was like, okay, all right, well, hate to be paying your air conditioning bill. Yeah. Like why? Shut that shit. Yeah. All right, sir, on a scale of 0 to 10, where are you going?
I gave this a 6 out of 10. So I like the original Scream the most. I like this one the second most. And then the second one is in third place. So a 6 out of 10. Definitely a fun view, and I'm more excited about going forward after watching this one. And now I'm more intrigued to watch the whole Courtney Cox Dewey relationship and mapping out for each movie going forward. Like if they were still a couple, if they weren't a couple at the time. Like I'm intrigued by this. But what did you give it out of 10?
I also gave it a 6 out of 10. No joke.
Yep, that's fair.
No joke. Yeah. And I don't know if that's, you know, here's the problem. Here's the problem when we're not using our 007 Mission Impossible ranking system, which maybe, you know what, like there may have been a way to adapt that for like screams for a
Bond girl category
kind of chart. You know, like, ooh, the twist and the opening scene and but I don't know if that scores lower or higher than what I gave the second one. I do like it better than the second one. Yep. So anyone who's like, if you're like binging our Scream series and you're like, well, that doesn't add up. Just sue me. This is 6 out of 10.
Fair enough.
What'd you watch this week, sir?
All right, I'll go through a couple titles here. I watched a 2022 film called 3,000 Years of Longing, and it stars Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba. And essentially, this lonely scholar is on a trip in Europe, I believe, or maybe the Middle East, and she finds a genie or a jinn, and the jinn offers her 3 wishes in exchange for his freedom. And I gave this movie a 7 out of 10, and I'd really recommend it to yourself and other people if they read the title and watch the trailer and they think it's up their alley. It was a really interesting film, and I want to watch it a second time, and I think it might actually get a higher score that time. And the things I liked about it were the acting is great, obviously, with those 2 names, but the majority of the film, maybe like 60% of it, takes place in a hotel room. And just with the combination of the good acting, the great dialogue, but also really visually well done flashbacks and like stories that then get visualizations, it really kind of made me realize like, wow, I forgot that most of this took place in like one room. And it just because it bounces around in so many different times and places. So that was amazing about it. But the last thing that I really thought was unique about it is there's been a million stories about genies in a bottle and granting wishes, whether it be from Aladdin to just name it whatever you want. But this one was just one of the most unique tales that I've ever seen about that really embodied the tale of the genie or the jinn. And it was just such a, I can't describe it enough that it was just such a unique telling of this tale as old as time, that it was just like a brand new way of just like showing this story that just, I can't recommend it enough. And the more I thought about it and the more I watched different YouTube videos reviewing it, I thought that was not only entertaining to watch, but I'm thinking about this the next day and I'm thinking about it eating breakfast. And anytime a movie does that, it's usually either it's really bad or it's really good. So 3,000 Years of Longing. Then I went back in the time machine and I watched a sci-fi movie from 1979. I watched Ridley Scott's Alien, and I liked it. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Was this your first time watching it?
Never had seen it before. My exposure to this series is very weird. I've seen one of the Ridley Scott movies. I think it's Prometheus that I had seen. So I had some exposure. So like some things had some meaning to me as I watched this original. But it was really entertaining. And it wasn't exactly my cup of tea. Like there were some things the color tone and maybe just some of the decisions in the story making process that I would have done differently. But I still gave it a 7 out of 10. I still found it interesting. And I can definitely see why it's iconic, just with all the actors. You know, you've got Tom Skerritt from Top Gun is in this. You got Sigourney Weaver. You've got Bilbo and Ian Holm in there. So I can see why it's iconic. I definitely enjoyed watching it. I'm not sure how fast I'm going to watch the next ones in this series, but I'm definitely going to watch the other Ridley Scott prequel, I guess you'd call it. There's Prometheus and then there's the other one he's made. And I know Ridley Scott wasn't involved in all the movies, but I'm basically prioritizing, I'm going to watch the Ridley Scott movies to round out what he's done. And then eventually I'll probably get into like the James Cameron and all the other renditions.
Yeah, I was going to say like the follow-up to this is James Cameron.
I know for sure. And I've heard, and I know there's a whole variety of, some are more well received than others, but it was still an interesting movie. I got a kick out of watching it. I would say, yeah. So like the other Ridley Scott one that you're talking about is Alien Covenant, right?
And so Aliens, and then Alien 3, which is a David Fincher film,
right?
They're both like Aliens, and Alien 3 all feel drastically different from each other.
And that's what I've heard. Yep.
Like they're entirely different films.
Mm-hmm.
They follow a continuity. Like they follow
Yep.
They follow a story.
Yep.
But it's like genre bending each time. It's just a whole different thing.
Right.
So, yeah.
Then I watched 2022's Prey. I guess it's a prequel to...
you're gearing up for Alien versus Predator here. You're going to watch a little AVP.
Not even a little. Prey is the second movie in that franchise that I've seen. I've seen Predator and Prey. That's it.
Yeah. I've only seen Predator.
Okay. Yeah.
But I got it's on my list is working through that series.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know what I would give Predator. I haven't seen it recently to score it, but I gave Prey a 6 out of 10, and I think I enjoyed it more than Predator. And, I know it's iconic because the Predator has, the handshake and the bicep rip and the Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that stuff, and I don't have time to bleed and all the iconic stuff. But I really just liked the time period that Prey was set in, being set in the prairies in the North America and the time period and the indigenous group that we're watching, and just the costume design and the visuals of the landscape as well, and just being on the frontier. And I just loved the period and the costume design and the group of people that we were watching, and mainly our female protagonist. That I loved all those things about it, and it just so happened to involve Prey, involve a predator. So I was there for that. I was there for all those things I mentioned, and then just Predator happened to be kind of involved in it too. So all that to be said, I really just enjoyed watching this movie, and I was fascinated by it. And I think it just spoke more to the time and the characters versus being part of the Predator series. But I enjoyed it, a 6 out of 10 if you're into those kind of things. And
cool.
That's it. That's all I got. What'd you watch this week?
Continuing with a bunch of series that I've already been watching. Obviously, I'm still watching National Treasure.
Yes, I'm a bit behind. Are you caught up?
I am caught up.
Okay.
Yeah, one dropped. I'm a little behind.
Right. Yeah.
In that there's one for me to watch. Yeah. But I'm not weeks behind.
No.
So you got some. We're gonna review season 1, man. It's in the calendar.
It is.
Forego a movie night and stack up on National Treasure episodes. So I've been watching that. Still watching 2.5 Men. We're one whole season into Ashton Kutcher.
Oh,
being on the show.
Right.
It's a different show now. It's just not the same. It's just not the same without Charlie Sheen. And then the only film... Is this accurate? Am I about to tell a lie? No, the only film that I watched was Ticket to Paradise. The Julia Roberts, George Clooney, sort of romantic comedy thing. It's fun.
Does it hold up?
Yeah, it's fun. It doesn't break any ground. It doesn't, it's not like the greatest comedy I've seen in a really long time.
Sure.
But it's completely serviceable as a rom-com. It's an enjoyable, funny.
Yep.
It's a little, you have to suspend some disbelief a little bit, but I mean, it's not meant to take itself super seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But the setup for the film, the setup where we kind of get here's our conflict. Here's why the events that are going to take place. It feels a little far-fetched. You're a little really? that's and that kind of hurts the film a little bit, only because everything's kind of based on that plot point. But I mean, all in all, at the end of the day, it's Julia Roberts and George Clooney. So
right.
it reaffirmed the film. Watching it did two things. It made me go, why don't I see more Julia Roberts these days?
Yep.
Like, where is she?
Yep.
Because I like her.
Mm-hmm.
And two, it sort of reaffirmed I was like, I really like, not only do I really like George Clooney, but I like old man George Clooney. Like, I like George Clooney in the last 15 years.
Okay.
I like gray haired George Clooney.
I think that's been a while.
Not that I don't enjoy his entire catalog. But something about, I really like him playing, whether it's a grandfather or it's a whatever it is.
Yep.
Right. I like the later on in his life George Clooney.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah. That's it. Makes sense. That's it. So hopefully you enjoyed the Scream episode. We kind of said it, not in so many words. We are working towards.
Yes.
This is one of those things. It's one of those. It's like our Harry Potter series, our Star Wars series,
our Mission Impossible series,
Mission Impossible, our 007 series, our I think that's it.
Our Avatar series we've watched.
Our Batman.
Batman.
We did it with Batman.
Yeah.
We did it with Batman.
The Avatar was a joke. We've really just reviewed Avatar 1, and we're going to review Avatar 2, but it still counts.
It is coming. It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
For those who are we've literally, people have reached out.
Yeah.
Are you guys not doing Avatar 2? We are.
We just need to find a time to sit down with James Cameron, and it's just hard. It's hard.
He's irritatingly busy, and that's like, prioritize, asshole. Like, wrap this up first, sir.
Well, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for joining us, whether you are a regular listener or tuning in for the Scream series or whatever brought you here today. We're happy that you're here. Check out our socials below. Please like, follow, subscribe. Please give us a good rate and review wherever you're listening. Check out our Patreon page. It's ways for you to help support the show, keep the bills paid. And then it's also ways for us to give you perks back, whether it be extra voting power, whether it be merch, depending on what level you're at, or whether it's the occasional bonus episode or opportunity to give vote suggestions. Just check out the Patreon page. Actually, probably by now, we had a seasonal episode, bonus episode that came out, and then in the next little bit, we'll be having another bonus episode coming out for our patron subscribers only. So check out our Patreon page. It's a way for us to kind of give special perks to those that really help the show run. And until next time.
Until next time.
Aim for the head.